your reaction towards equal rights for women?
Were you directly
Oh, wow,
involved?
great. Yeah, because I was all in favor of it. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys have in your notes that in the 60s we had what was called a bra burning incidents. Did you ever hear about that? Yeah, we owe those women a lot of debt. In previous years, before the 2000 century, almost, I think 99.9% of businesses, schools, and even some professors at these big universities were anti-women. They thought that the female gender was necessarily not fit for teaching certain subjects, for positions as heads of corporations, or anything else but as typists and stenographers and housewives. As a matter of fact, when I was, attending classes at Berkeley to get my graduate degree, one of those dumb professors, there are some dumb professors at Berkeley. One of the dumb professors on an aside said to me, "What are you doing in the political science department? You should be in the home economics department."
Jeez.
So, yeah, and it was wonderful, I think, well, in my opinion anyway, it was wonderful that the women finally captured their emotions and their ambitions and their qualifications and made a statement, powerful statement, in the sense that they publicly demonstrated and demanded equal rights. It took a long, long time, and there had to be a lot of women supporting this movement, but it was necessary. When I worked for the American Broadcasting Company, the first employer I had after leaving UC Berkeley, women could not be assigned as editors, producers, executives, or anything. I was lucky to even get into the network film department, handling commercials and things like that. But now, if you take a look, big CEOs of eBay and all those big companies, Facebook, etc., you have a lot of women now who are demonstrating and proving to the whole world that talent does not recognize gender. If you're talented, you got brains, whatever your gender is, doesn't really matter that much. It's your talent and your belief in yourself, your self-confidence, and your aspirations for the future. Those are what count, and of course your values as well.
What about the
I'm
hippie-
long-winded, aren't I?
It's okay. It's good. Our teacher doesn't mind.
Should I?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the hippie movement?
Oh yeah, that was my generation.
Were you part of any of the...
No.
No.
No, I was not part of it. Actually, when I went to Berkeley, it was the Beat generation first, and then we saw all those dirty-looking people, the beards and stuff. And of course, I had just come from the Philippines, and we didn't have any of that. I mean, you dress decently, you cleaned yourself, and I didn't have anything, that. I was not rebelling against society or anything like that. I was seriously wanting an education. So anyway, by the time, I stayed at Berkeley years after I got my degree, only because I became a teaching assistant. I needed to earn some money, save my money, and then finally left. And so then there was the hippie movement, there was the LSD thing, people jumping off of the campanile. No, well, I really didn't give it too much. I didn't have time to give those kinds of things too much thought. I just didn't have much to do with them. I stayed away from all that stuff. Nah, didn't participate in the hippie movement.
Okay. What event from the 1960s had most effect on you?
In what way?
Just in any way, like, impacted your life, or just gave you like a feeling, or just an effect.
Well, I think the women's movement, I was a very ambitious person. I wanted to become CEO of some big corporation, and it annoyed me, irritated me, and angered me that I was being judged as incapable of that because I was a woman. And I wound up doing work that, I never thought I would. My great ambition was to become head of a big corporation. So that impacted me. And then, of course, the Vietnam War, I got a little emotionally involved, I think, because of my students who were in that. And then the civil rights movements. Locally, we had here in Ventura what is called the La Raza movement and the race. And we would have students parading around campus, and I think I joined those students and La Raza, La Raza. And although I'm not Hispanic, my students who were Hispanic asked me to be one of their mecha advisors. Had to do with the Mexican-American Chicano movement. That's the mecha thing. And I also, at the request of the college president, introduced Hispanic studies. I didn't know anything about the history of Mexico at the time. I was not involved with the Mexicans. I had stereotypes in my head what Mexicans looked like. It was all this little guy that I saw in the comic books with his serape sleeping under a cactus plant. That's all I thought the Mexicans were. But I was asked to do that, and of course I understood the impact and necessity for it. So I took a 6-week class conducted by Dr. Juan Nava somewhere in San Diego. And I got one of his books. I ordered the books, and we started the class, and I told my students who enrolled, there were a lot of students who enrolled in the class. I said, hey guys, I don't know anything that much. I don't know that much about your history. I don't know what the feelings and emotions of the Mexicans or other Hispanics, Latinos, etc. But I took a 6-week course, whatever you learn in 6 weeks. I have these books, which each one of you have now because we ordered those books. I will stay 1 page ahead of you. You read everything before that, and I will read everything before that, and I will read 1 page ahead. And we will try to get through this semester. There was not a single Hispanic teacher in the college district at the time. So I agreed to, and my students were so happy. We got along really fine. My students liked me anyway. All of them did. So we got through the semester, and then another semester. Finally I went to the college president and I said, I'm not going to fill in for a real Hispanic. If you want the class to continue, you have to hire a real Hispanic. And because I refused to teach it any longer. So the president said, okay, Ms. McPherson, we will do that. So the first Latino was hired. And nice. I went and taught my regular subjects with, political science and history. So That's how it happened. Now they have a they expanded Hispanic program, Hispanic Studies program and Women's Studies program.
That's cool.